This is WindleyMania, and I'm Andrew, and Devin's with me, the little baby.
You didn't hit record on the damn...
Oh my god, hold on.
Let's try again.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, that's okay, because
I'm leaving this. I didn't know we were recording this. I'm out.
Thank you, little baby, with your intuition. And I want, you know how there's Little Baby? The rappers?
Yeah.
Well, I think you should be Little Baby. And I want people to come up to you and be like, "Oh, it's Little Baby.
I don't.
How you doing, little baby?
I don't agree with that.
You little dinky winky."
Well, then you're
huh?
I don't know.
I'm fucking Mama Bird. Anyways, we got a great fucking lineup here with people. I'm really excited, as you can tell, with the enthusiasm of Dinky Winky. But it's if you remember, if you're a
loyal listener,
you know who you are. A few episodes ago, we were gushing about this little album that came out by a band called Pnltybx. And wouldn't you believe it, Pnltybx, we're looking at them all right now. And what's up, guys?
Dinky Winky.
Yeah. We got Jake. You guys, how about you guys just introduce yourselves? And
hey.
What do you guys do?
All of us except Jake. Jake doesn't speak. That's the rule.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe a little sign language.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Will.
No, you go. Now I've hijacked it.
I'm Jake. I play bass and sing poorly.
Hey, now.
I think you sing really well.
It's super pop punk to self-deprecate, you know.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
First shirts just said Jake Strunen sucks on them. I'm not kidding. I'll find one.
Yeah, they're great. I still don't have one. I really want one.
I should have worn mine.
I don't have one in your size, Will. I only have ones that I've worn.
I mean, doesn't that just make it funnier?
Yeah, it does. All right.
Yeah, so I guess I'm Will. I play guitar and sing also poorly.
Really?
And I do a lot of the songwriting. Jake and I are kind of a team, but he mostly does lyrics and I mostly do music, but sometimes we cross-pollinate because we're kinky like that.
Streams, you know?
But yeah, as you can tell by me constantly hijacking conversation, I'm also an arrogant asshole. So
hey, well. So
see, he's the Lenin to my Ringo.
That's not exactly right.
And I am Gordie. I am the drummer and the best singer in Pnltybx.
That is
true.
That is true. I've never heard him sing, but like he says it with such authority, I've never doubted it.
Well, I have. I've heard him do some backups before.
Yeah, he does backup yelling for Lunchbox. I figured he did it for y'all too.
Well, he's going to.
He will be
currently
near him, but then we didn't have an XLR cable at practice, and I keep forgetting about it. So it's just like this floating mic that doesn't do anything, you know.
Missing cables, the scourge of all bands.
It's like giving like a younger relative their game controller, but not plugging it in so they can protect it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Look, Gordie, you're playing as Link.
Your tail.
You're Tails, and I'm Sonic. And
if
we're a Day to Remember cover band.
Dude, that worked so well.
That was smooth.
Yeah, my brother convinced me I was Tails. Like, easily. I was like, yeah, I'm absolutely Tails.
You just are actually like Tails in real life?
No, well, like when playing Sega, like, because you couldn't actually play as Tails.
Yeah. Well, the other one was funny.
As a little kid, you could convince a little kid that they were playing with you.
Yeah. Kids are dumb.
Yeah. I was
what I used to do, I had an older cousin who's basically like a big sister to me, and I used to watch her play like video games all the time. And when she would put on Grand Theft Auto, like obviously you could beat up like hookers in Grand Theft Auto, and I used to like sit there and be like, get him, get her, like just fucking just egging it on, like violence.
Dude,
But,
no, I feel that senseless violence is totally fine. You know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Terminator 2
almost
was
not
my
senseless.
favorite movie when I was 4.
What movie?
Terminator 2,
Oh, right on. Yeah,
The-
that was.
the second one.
And pretty sick movie.
It's a great movie.
I like all the shit. The guy who played the T-1000. That actor. What was it?
Robert Patrick.
Yeah, he did like so much like training to play him. Like he learned how to shoot like a gun without like blinking.
Yeah.
So if you watch him, he's just like staring the whole time. And then there's a scene where he's chasing John Connor in the Terminator when they're on that motorcycle, and he had like adjusted his like endurance and stamina that he could like catch up to the motorcycle while running, and was like running like as fast as them. And then they were like, you got to slow down a little bit because you're obviously not supposed to catch him here.
Yeah, I heard that he actually threw himself into a pit of boiling metal for the role.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
He's a real method actor.
Yeah.
You know?
He's Christian Bale's father. Let's see.
No, he doesn't yell as much.
He was born from all of the body mass that Christian Bale lost for The Machinist.
And it was teleported back in time.
Yeah,
Got it.
I mean, yeah, he literally is the T-1000.
That makes sense. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one really thinks of all the work that these actors go through.
Dude, yeah.
Never think of
It's
it like
rough
that.
being an actor.
So you guys are a band, I think, right?
That is
Wait,
true.
what?
You
We're a
legally,
good One Direction cover band.
Hmm.
yeah.
Good.
You don't know your
Yeah.
Hedgehog.
We decided that Jake is Zane and I'm Harry and Gordie is all of the other members combined.
That explains why he's so handsome.
Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
He's the best looking guy in the band.
He's one of the best looking musicians. I think.
Yeah.
I
Period.
think he's
Yeah.
just one of the best looking people ever.
He's got $1.5 billion smile.
Right? Also, like, have you ever met another drummer that shows up on time?
No.
No.
Nope,
Yeah,
not
right.
once.
Like,
I'm in two different bands with two different drummers that never show up when they say they're going to.
yeah, I've never met a
mean-
drummer who is as punctual as Gordie.
To be fair, I've also never met a drummer who could play on time. So
Yeah, also,
Gordie's the first.
Man,
yeah, he stays in that pocket. I carry him around in the pocket, you know? Like,
Yeah,
He's
got
a little
chest
stitch.
pocket.
He's a
Gordie
little
lives in.
stitch.
Yeah.
well, he had to if he played in Rush, so
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. There are
The guy
videos.
if you choose the Spotify profile.
Yeah, I mean, you can't lie on Spotify.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
That's
You
why
can-
Joe
you can-
Rogan is on
There's a, couple,
Spotify.
there's a couple other things you can do on Spotify, apparently.
Thanks. I'm glad that you got where I was going with that.
Yeah.
It went over my head. I'm not even gonna lie at first.
I was afraid it wasn't gonna land. I was like,
I got you. We're the same person.
Yeah.
Together we are one brain.
Hmm.
We have the functional capacity of a single human being.
yeah, that's true. When our manic episodes hit at different times.
Yeah.
When they're at the
That's
same time, then
interesting.
we're just no functional people.
Yeah. Well, when they hit at the same time, last time that happened, we wrote Hedgehog. So
True.
the whole album in a week.
Yeah.
You did that in a
A
week?
week?
An entire week while we were in the studio recording the Hat Trick EP, we wrote the entire album and demoed it.
Yeah. The two of us just woke up one morning and were just like robots. And then it happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, I showed Jake, but I got mine the other day,
Hell yeah.
So
And-
sick.
and I got a silver Sharpie.
I was wondering where that went.
Well, I've got it.
Which reminds
I've
me,
been looking for that.
Oh, wait. How did.
Oh yeah, I sent Gordie
Oh.
one of the new ones the other day. Nice.
Oh, sick.
Well, Will, if you want your Sharpie back,
No.
Windley,
It'll cost you.
Windley.bandcamp.com, brother.
Word.
Is you put in a promo code and get a free Sharpie.
Yeah, it works once.
Yeah, it was limited to one,
Yeah,
and we can't
one Sharpie.
like sign it or anything because we can't use the Sharpie to write on the Sharpie.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
You guys signed
when
the
you
Sharpie.
buy-
Yeah, you gotta sign
Yeah.
a shirt at least.
It's like when you buy scissors and they're like wrapped in plastic and you can't cut it open because you don't have scissors.
Yeah, it's an endless cycle. That's what Big Scissor is doing to the
Yeah.
economy.
Damn them.
Those bastards.
We need to break up the Office Max monopoly.
But yeah, it really, you wrote Hedgehog in a week. That's
incredible.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've been working.
We
on
wrote
like
it
this,
in a week and then we sat on it for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I found
the initial version of it is not nearly as good as how it ended up because
Yeah, Nick from the Wonder Years made our album a lot better.
Which,
I
which
was-
one is he?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Like, how
he's
how'd
one of the
y'all
guitar
pull that
players.
off?
He's got the beard. He also plays drums in Aaron West.
Okay.
And then he has his own band, Why Bother. They're pretty but yeah, we like demoed everything out and sent it to him, and he would send us back notes, and then we would record with those notes and send it back. And we did that a few times, and then we just tracked it in the studio.
That's pretty cool.
It was
Where'd you guys do it at?
Black Plate.
Okay.
Yeah, Garrett.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's in the same spot, is it still like in the middle of nowhere, basically, or do they get a?
Yes,
Different
but it's
place.
in a different middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's in the middle of a
Because
different
it wasn't
nowhere.
like it wasn't like done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's in Benson.
Oh,
Now it's in my neck of middle of nowhere.
okay.
For some reason, I thought it was in Wilmington, and I don't know why.
Well, they were supposed to go to Wilmington, but I think the like contract for the space fell out at the last minute, so he ended up going to Benson instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he also Garrett also shot our music video with
Yeah.
I watched
Both
that.
of them.
yeah, both
Okay.
of them actually. But specifically the Hedgehog video, which is I think is hilarious.
Yeah. It's
I
pretty
thought
good.
that was awesome.
Like I can't speak highly enough of Garrett and his work. He really elevates our band and our vision. So any extra work that we can get him, he deserves it. He's a great guy.
And he edits his drums on while you're recording. So like they're done when
Yeah, like by the end of the session, you just have a complete album of drums. Like it's just all done.
Holy shit!
Gordie tracked the entire album in 2 days.
Yeah. It was a fun 2 days. Very productive.
Except for Destroyer.
Yeah.
We're never
Destroyer
gonna
is a
do that.
destroyer.
Hmm.
I
That's like one of
literally
the heavy.
I got done with that track and I put the sticks down. I walked outside. I'm like, I need a break. I can't do this anymore. And it's not even a hard track. Listen to it now. I'm like, well, that's really easy. And then but the initial recording of it, like that took the longest. Everything else was a couple takes here and there. And
Because
Destroyer
that
was
one's got a
like
few
12 hours.
changes and stuff.
Yeah, it's about that was how my day.
Jake doesn't even know how to play Destroyer.
Not anymore.
I don't think we've all played it since like the
Together.
old studio.
Yeah, we haven't played it since we were like writing it back in the old days, the before
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. Wait, did we ever
Hello.
actually play it together?
I think one time.
We played like an early version of it. We have never played the final version of the song in the same room together.
And we never will.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So, if you're not privy to it, there's a little story with the Hedgehog as well.
Yeah.
Whose idea and why?
Yeah, that was me. That was part of the manic episode. I woke up one morning with a line in my head about like frontline infantry, and I'm like, I don't know how this translates to a pop punk song, so I guess I'm just gonna write a concept album. And Jake and I have like been working kind of together on the story and a lot of the details. And of course, my dog Luna, who's sitting on my lap, she's the one behind everything.
Oh,
That's true.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, we started with just like a really rough sketch of like a story, and then we were coming up with character names and stuff, and then a lot of the stuff was finalized well after the album's completion. Like the little like prologue that's on the flash drive. I wrote that like 10 minutes before putting it on a flash drive and shipping it to you.
Oh, jeez.
So like we had like some of the basic details, but just a lot of the ideas have just changed a lot, and a lot of it's changed because we're currently writing the follow-up record, which is going to be a double album, and so that really set a lot of the story concepts in stone, go kind of retroactively. So
Yeah, that just answered what I was gonna ask, because it said like, and that's where it begins. Like, oh shit, there's
Yeah,
gonna be more. So
does it have like an overarching title, sort of like the Deer Hunter's Axe or Coheed's The Amory Wars or something like that? Does it have like a whole like?
I don't know if we've like
no, we've been
officially-
trying to like think of something, but nothing like sounds not stupid, and
Well,
so
yeah.
like at this point we've just been calling it Hedgehog so long that it's just kind of like that's just kind of what it is now. It's just like the Hedgehog like story or sequence or whatever pretentious term you want to attach to it.
I
Right.
mean, I still like the Pnltybx cinematic universe.
Yeah. It's penalty bots.
Penalty bots. That's good.
But and we actually at one point we were trying to get an animator to like animate the entire album for us. But
Yeah, it turns out that's really fucking expensive.
Yeah.
it's just a little outside our budget.
Right.
And by a little outside, I mean a lot outside our budget.
like a few $1,000 probably.
Yeah.
More than that.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
Like, I could, do a down payment on a house, or I could get 10 music videos no one's gonna watch. And
I mean, they help.
Yeah. I mean, and like I still want to my friend Joey is the one who did all the artwork. He's a comic book artist in Charlotte, and he's done some stuff in the past. And I mean, I still want to just like contract him to like animate us doing a comic book, but it's like real expensive
Yeah.
and time consuming. Who has
I mean, it's
write
a solid investment though, because like, it's just a cool thing to have and share. So I understand wanting to do that.
it's a big flex for sure.
Yeah.
we have so many like wild ambitions about things we want to do that we just don't have the money for. Like I like every niche you can think of, like we've thought of a merch idea for it, and we just can't afford to do it.
We've
Well, like-
we've had ideas to do stuff too. It just never happens for one reason or another.
It's usually money.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
usually
Like
money,
time.
or right now the raw material shortages are like pretty severe.
Yeah, like we wanted to have vinyl, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be like 3 years before the next record is pressed. So
Thanks,
Yeah.
Adele.
Like we needed to finish Hedgehog like 3 years ago, and we could have gotten it pressed in a normal.
yeah, Jake, why didn't we write this album before we knew each other? Come on.
I know
Biggest mistake of my life was not knowing Jake sooner.
it's true.
It's pretty sweet. It's tender.
I wish I never met this guy.
Fair.
I mean, that's
Scott,
fair.
you doing podcasts and shit? Who does that?
Hanging out, being friends.
Yeah, well, why is it called Hedgehog? That was one thing.
So there's an episode of Evangelion called The Hedgehog's Dilemma, and
okay, yeah.
that's one of.
Well, I
the,
mean, it's kind of just all of Evangelion is just that.
Yeah, I mean that's
yeah. I mean, it's like an actual, psychological thought experiment, but it's also essentially just the theme of Evangelion, and because we have limited imagination, we basically just said, all right, let's just copy Evangelion frame for frame, but as music instead.
That's fair. I mean,
which is also just where we were at, emotionally at the time. Because the Hedgehog's Dilemma is this whole thought experiment about these hedgehogs are out in the cold, and so they huddle together for warmth, but their quills poke each other, so then they separate. So it's like a choice between getting stabbed or being alone.
Yeah, it's like the desire to get close to someone or something because you have to stay alive, but also the fear of getting hurt by being close to someone. And so right. It's analogous to human relationships and whatnot.
Makes sense. I get it.
Shit, I'm a member of this band and I'm learning something right now.
Gordie's like, I don't care what's going on. I just play.
I thought the song was about Sonic.
Well, it's my sympathy for Tails for always having to be the little spoon.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, and it made it really easy to be very self-revealing when it's set in this theoretical world that doesn't actually exist. It's super easy to be really honest that way.
Yeah, we can just project ourselves onto any combination of characters in any way that we want, so it's could be considered a safety mechanism or something, but it's a little easier to just be really straightforward when you're not necessarily singing about yourself, even though you are.
Yeah. I was thinking about I usually write the lyrics in Windley, but Garrett obviously is a singer, and so I have a weird time. Sometimes I change shit just because it's Garrett's got to yell that shit. It's maybe I don't know if he cares or if he it's sort of it's not his thing. You know what I mean,
it's not his. He's got to.
It feels weird for me.
It's got to be a way for him to.
I feel like he wouldn't care most of the time. He'd be like, "Oh, that's good," or "That sucks." But I usually change shit just because it's
No, yeah,
and that's kind of the one thing I like about it, especially with you guys. It's your words with Garrett's voice, but it still feels personal in a way. It's it may not be something that he is saying from himself, but especially coming from the whole For Sure album, it's it's got the whole personal thing behind it. And I think go ahead.
Well, sometimes I'll send him stuff and then he'll be like, "Yeah, doggy, I get that. Yeah, I get that." So it's not a complete different thoughts about stuff or I don't no relating to it at all. It's just that sometimes I just don't, even though I know Garrett very well and he's like a brother, but it's one of those weird selfish things where I can't really get it all out because I don't really want to.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
So it makes me want to write a sci-fi now, so I can be well, it's not me. It's it's this fucking guy with the like a laser.
Yeah, it's Darth Vader. Like
Yeah,
Darth Vader gets lonely sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah, he's sad
Speaking of-
sometimes. I'm not
So-
sad ever. You know.
No,
I am the perfect creation.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys like, what if like people were kind of like, in a fucked up mental state? What would that be like? I don't know.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, no. But that is like kind of also one of the like, it's kind of our whole thing is like we want it to be more okay to just be honest like that, like talk about where you're at, like and the next record gets like super personal. Like I wrote this song during a manic episode where like I almost checked myself in, like I needed to go somewhere because I was not safe. And it's so much easier to like share that stuff when I get to like act like it's the perspective of some character in the story instead. But like talking about mental health, it shouldn't be that way, like
Yeah.
it should just be okay. Like
Like there's some of the songs on, because like the next record is one very long, so like it lets us kind of flex our muscles creatively and just kind of have fun, right? Like because we would don't plan on like going all Pink Floyd and just doing double triple concept albums every year for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we're not like crawling all the way up our asses, but like halfway up,
Yeah,
Just
like
enough.
I think
Just a
Jake,
tip. Just
I
a
think
tip.
we both kind of feel like we're in a pretty good place like creatively right now, and we're just kind of having fun just doing stuff. And so like
Yeah.
there's no point
That's what
in
it's all about.
limiting yourself like arbitrarily if you want to do something like
we're doing Pnltybx goes K-pop eventually.
yeah. We're gonna do a K-pop cover EP. We're gonna do a straight ahead pop punk EP.
That's the apology for the concept album.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's like, all right, you sat through all that shit. Here's what you came for.
Yeah, like here's 4 songs that like this is what you wanted. We're sorry.
But like there's like speed metal and dubstep and shit on the next album. Like it's
Holy
all
shit.
over the place.
I finally get my like attack style dance break.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
and then we've got songs that sound like straight up J-pop.
Yeah.
My favorite bass player is Tetsuya. He's the bass player in Lark NCL. They're a Japanese band Will and I both like a lot. But he has like the sickest signature bass from Lakeland. It's like they collaborated with ESP for it. And I got one, and I can't wait to record these fucking like J-pop songs that sound like things
Nice.
he would play.
Yeah. Also, the bass just sounds so fucking good.
It's so good.
It's real nice.
Yeah.
But kind of going back to the original
Sorry. Yeah.
discussion. Well, I have a tendency to just like start talking about stuff and just end up, way out in another spot of the world.
That's
but-
that's what this is for. So it's fine.
Yeah. I think that like because the album is so long and because like there's a lot of space to work and there's it's kind of functioning as like the climax of this like really dark story that we're trying to write. So there's a lot of like emotional like low points and like just, grappling with like yourself and like having to learn hard truths and that kind of stuff. So like it really gives us a chance to just like I have written a couple songs about stuff that like I don't even talk to my therapist about. Like it just lets us really just go free because we can set it into the context of the story, make a couple tweaks to like make it make sense, and then it's a little bit easier to bare your soul that way. But like Jake was saying, I think one of the like main goals that we kind of want to push for just for our band at like as our image and our fan base and quote unquote fan base, we don't have any fans, but
All 10 of
You got
them.
2 right here, brother. Come on.
We have literally
It's more than most bands.
2
yeah.
at least.
But yeah, like we really want the kind of the center of our work to be like destigmatizing, detoxifying the discussion around mental health, and not necessarily just sitting around and being like, hey, if you're sad, why don't you try being happy? But like,
Right.
The more of like the reality of what it's like to deal with mental health issues. And because I feel like we're learning more and more that that's just kind of a universal struggle, right? That like,
Yeah.
Everyone's got some
yeah,
shit
so
going
many
on.
people are dealing with shit and we just don't talk about it. And it's kind of like how Real Friends was, where they were just like all about the mental health thing, except a lot of the early Real Friends stuff was a little too whiny for me.
I fucking loved it though. I loved it.
I
so
loved
much.
the stuff they were doing right before
He had such bony
right before
knee.
what's his name left. And then well, their newest EP was pretty tight too.
Yeah, no, they just had a new single. It was really good. Like I think on Friday it came out.
Yeah.
But their new singer doesn't have sleepy eyes and bony knees. Like, so what are they even doing? But but yeah, no, that's always been like our goal. Like, sure, it would be cool to like be popular and like tour with bands that we look up to, but really like if someone doesn't like hurt themselves one night because of something that we wrote, we did it, like and making sure people can feel like they aren't alone is like so important. Like the one of the newest Wonder Years songs, I can't remember if it's Breakless. Yeah. Like Breakless is like a song that like, where one of the lines, like the hook is about like, considering killing yourself, and like I was like, true, like that vibe, like I understand that thought, and like it made me feel seen,
because we want to have like we always we want to make people feel like they're not alone, feel like someone understands them, or at least give people something to like project their feelings on. Like I don't think that like fucking Bono knows anything about my mental health, but I can listen to Achtung Baby and just like find parts of myself within that record. And like I just want to do for other people what my favorite bands have done for me, and that's to make life worth living. So if we can help even just one person, like Jake said, I mean that's good enough for us. But like it's not just about making people feel seen and included, but it's also about pushing for more positive discourse surrounding mental health as well, because there's 1,000,001 songs about dudes being sad out there, but so like I think that it's important that it's not just us wallowing in our own misery, but that it's also us like actively trying to improve like ourselves and to do what we can to make things better for other people.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, speaking for me, like there's definitely songs on Hat Trick and Hedgehog that like I was like, damn, wasn't ready. So y'all have done that to me with a few songs. So,
Yeah,
for sure. Like, and it doesn't like. I know you use the concept as like a thing to kind of sneak it in there, but it still comes through. Like I think mostly how it might be like meant to.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't bury it too bad. Like you can listen to it without even knowing there's a concept and still feel the songs.
And the whole thing about like opening up and like, having a conversation. I mean, I just got done talking about how I'm bad at that. So, I'm definitely for it. So.
You are bad at that.
Yeah. Well,
So am I.
You do it. Sorry, I never know like what to say after someone says something positive to me about something I did,
Well,
See,
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, but after that, I'm just like, wait, are we?
You're talking to me? You're
wait,
talking to me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
bro.
stroke my own ego all the time, but when someone else does it,
I'm really surprised when someone strokes something on me. Like, whoa.
Yeah, right. Like,
How much do I owe you?
right.
But
But I know how that feels too. It's like, oh, thank you.
So when are we going on tour?
Well, like we were trying to get some stuff put together for the beginning of April, and I think we got one date kind of confirmed. So
There we
it's
go.
supposed to be,
That's
it's
a
supposed to be
start.
us, y'all, and Lunchbox if everyone's free for it.
Gordy
April
will
8th.
die, but I'm okay with that. I mean,
will die happily.
Well, I think at least one of the shows I'm playing with both of my bands too. So
Oh
there'll
my
be
God.
a little bit of yeah.
Oh, is that the one with Bay Street?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dirty Earls is my other band.
Huh.
I play bass, so it's not as hard as playing drums for 2 sets. So I can't imagine ever doing that. So
yeah, no, I think I could do 2 sets as a bass player pretty easily.
I could do 2 sets as a guitarist. As a singer, I can barely get through one.
Yeah, I mean that's but like I remember, do you remember when Fun came out with Aim and Ignite, like back, God, was that like 2011 maybe? 2010?
I think it was, it's like 9 or 10, I think.
But
Because Some Nights was 2012, pretty sure.
but Jack's other band opened for them, Steel Train. Yeah. So every night on that tour, he would open like fronting his own band and then immediately come back on stage and play guitar for fun. Like I can't imagine doing that every night.
we saw.
I mean,
we
to
saw
be
Angels
fair,
and Airwaves, and they did that
Jack
too.
Antonoff is a fucking like immortal creative golem.
Genius,
Like I feel
yeah.
like he could do anything he wants to for as long as he wants. He can't be stopped.
I would kill to work with him. Like,
Yeah.
If he hears this, just let me know who to kill. I mean, just kidding, FBI.
Wouldn't be the first email we got about who needs to be put down. Usually when Connor's on. I had one more question about the concept album.
Yeah.
More specifically about there's an antagonist, the Coalition. Am I correct?
No, so the coalition is the good guys.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh,
guys.
god damn it.
Yeah.
But well,
Who the-
so I mean, like they're the
Who are the
good
bad guys?
of the story, but they're they're fighting against the fascist government.
That's it. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
have a
it's the creatively named Federal Police.
The Federal
are
Police.
Federal
bad
Police,
guys.
right.
I have the PDF on my phone.
I think because I read through it and then like I had like a question pop up in my mind and I was like, what was the name of the bad guys again? And I saw Coalition and I was like, they sound evil, but I got it completely wrong. So the Federal Police, do you have like an idea of like I guess in your heads what these people like look like and how they like, more of the details about like what how they act in that world.
I picture them like stormtroopers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like,
Yeah.
are the like no matter how bad because like a lot of like sci-fi and like whatnot, usually the bad guys are like really cool, even though if they're like doing bad shit. So I was going to ask, is the federal police kind of actually like kind of cool?
They're like real cops.
Yeah, like the federal police are just like the police we have here, meaning they all suck.
And they're racist.
But they do kind of have some of that cool factor because in the process of the story, they're the ones who created the giant robots, the Gungnir mechs.
Gungnir.
And so
Okay.
the coalition kind of co-opted those when people started splitting off after all the stuff goes down and our main character's best friend gets killed. So like it's kind of like Star Wars and going back to the stormtroopers, like the rebellion just like throwing together the scraps of whatever ships they could find, and then the Empire having the brand new like state of the art, just like thousands upon thousands of TIE fighters, and it's kind of the similar situation. But the whole like coalition federal police thing, it's kind of like plot wise almost a bait and switch. We wrote this album when all of the BLM protests were going on. Is like COVID was still like, it was relatively early in the pandemic, and the fucking Cheeto was president still, and it's like everything was just awful all of the time. And I mean, it still is. But so we kind of like wrote a lot of stuff from that perspective, just kind of fantastic, like making kind of a fantastical version of just what was happening in real life at the time.
That's kind of how I read it, just because of like, you straight up just say "fuck 12" in the song. So I was like, okay, that's
fuck 'em.
that's probably
Also-
more. That's probably got some more real into it,
Well, I mean, also, like, can you imagine, like, when we finally get to play that, like, live, the mosh call that will, I mean,
Yeah,
someone will die.
like
Well, actually, I mean, in a post-COVID world, I guess maybe not, because socially distanced mosh call, I don't know how those two things work together yet.
I just will know our job is done if one person gets robbed in a mosh pit at our show. But so this like social strife is kind of the center of the story for this album. But the prologue that I wrote for the liner notes only describes the events leading up to this album. It doesn't really talk about what's happening during the record.
And also, giant robots exist because there were giant werewolves.
Well, there are going to be many giant werewolves in the next album.
But I mean, that was the reason that they, in this universe, the reason to make giant robots was to fight the werewolf.
so they could fight some giant werewolves. I'd like to see that, because
The
that's not a fight
Fenrir's.
you've seen.
Yeah, but the song "Destroyer of Worlds" is what's happening in the story. There is that in the middle of this like essentially like civil war that's going on, there's like this, the main antagonist of the story. It doesn't show up until song 8 out of 10, but he is kind of just like this like independent actor, like instigator, like bad faith anarchist who just wants to see the world burn. And so that's what the whole idea of like where it mentions like dropping the bomb and stuff, like this guy just shows up and just takes advantage of the chaos to just fucking obliterate everyone.
And does he have a cool helmet or hat?
Oh,
He
for
does.
sure. His,
Cool.
Hell
his
yeah.
giant robot is gonna look like the other Gungnir, like the Gungnir on the album art, but like black and
Yeah,
menacing.
black and orange. Yeah.
right.
Like, yeah, no, it's gonna be super sick.
Yeah.
Which one is on my shirt?
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah,
So
which one
that's
is on
the
my
main character's Gungnir.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Anada is the main character,
Anada,
and that's
that's
his Gungnir.
Okay. I didn't know who I was repping, so.
The other Gungnir designs are going to be on the they're going to be the single artwork for the next handful of singles. So
Okay.
we'll kind of put a little bit more world development out there as we go.
Yeah, because we're playing.
So you're telling me I got the cop guy basically, right? This
Well, no,
is the guy
well,
that's-
good guy.
Well, he was
Okay.
part of the, because like that's part of his story and like his like crisis that he goes through the album is that he was working for the federal police and
Alright.
just kind of like, from a place of privilege and not really aware of like the suffering that he is like, causing. And then when he watches his best friend get murdered by his own
That's when he
people,
renounces it. Okay.
yeah, it kind of causes him to question everything. And he ends up, he also finds out that his girlfriend is working with the
resistance.
coalition,
Yeah.
which causes his relationship to fall apart. And so that's what kind of leads to, all of the, self deprecation throughout the record is just him just struggling with all of this stuff and like losing everyone he cares about. And ultimately he kind of shifts sides and, brings his robot with him. And that's where we are going to kind of pick up on the next record. There's going to be a little bit of a time jump while people kind of, recuperate from being nuked with a bioweapon. That's the other fun thing. The bomb we kind of took from, that's why the song is called Resident Evil, because we just like stole the concept like verbatim, that the bomb releases a biohazard into the atmosphere that turns people into zombies and giant werewolves. So there'll be a lot of
nothing happens, it kills you, you're a zombie or a giant werewolf. Those are the four options that happen.
So there's going to be a lot of sick ass kaiju battles on the
yeah,
next one.
like
I'm about it.
yeah, I'm super hype about it because like I love the werewolf metaphor, like in literature, and because like substance abuse is something I really struggled with when I was a lad. In my like I got clean when I was 20, like from like really severe opiate addiction, and I've been clean ever since. But like that, like werewolves or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde are like, they're such great metaphors to talk about that stuff in without like being gross.
Right.
So yeah, I'm pumped about that. Werewolves are tight.
Yeah, it's easier to use that as a metaphor than doing the Anthony Kiedis route where you write a whole novel about how you're constipated all the time from the heroin.
Also, at
In
some
California.
point, someone piloting a Gungnir is like they're gonna get hit by the bioweapon and turn into a werewolf inside the like and blow up the robot because they become a giant werewolf. Like that's a scene that will
That's a cool visual, yeah.
So sick.
Yeah.
Like I have
You gotta get that animated.
We have a lot of really cool like visual ideas that we can't afford to bring to life, but they're locked away back there.
Right.
We're gonna make it one day.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Could sell my magic cards.
What's that?
I'll just sell off all my magic cards. I'll quit playing magic again. They'll pay for the giant werewolf explosion.
I tried to get into that a long time ago. Like a friend of mine helped me build a deck, and I was like, all right, I've got a deck, and how do I play? And we sat down I sat down with him like once or twice. I was like, I don't understand this.
Yeah, I wish the rules were like Go Fish or something.
Yeah, because like everyone looks, all these guys are really cool. I just, I don't know where that deck is now. I might have given it to someone.
Do you have a Jace the Mind Sculptor? Go Fish.
But it's funny because at least back in the day, I don't know if they still do, but I remember like you'd see like on the tour bus with Newfound Glory or something, and they would be like playing Magic. Um, I remember I like brought cards to a show one time, hoping that like if I ran into them, I could just get them to sign my Magic cards.
That'd be tight.
I think there's like an old like instructional video on how to play Magic the Gathering when it first came out.
Yeah.
And they're like in like a laboratory or something.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And they're like, so you want to play Magic? Well, get your fucking goggles and lab coat on because you're about to learn some shit. And I tried watching that, but I was like, there's so much going on the screen that I'm not really retaining any of the information they're giving me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love finding those like bizarre old videos from like, Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon where it's just insanity. Or like a lot of them are like bootleg, like unlicensed. There's just people trying to like, profit off of the fad. And so they just like pulled some kids off a playground and told them to play Yu-Gi-Oh on camera so they could sell a DVD for $20.
Oh, see, I was thinking about like when I was in Hong Kong and they had like Clown and like Captain Hero, like Bionicles that were like these poorly translated like the Joker was fighting Captain America, but like it was Clown, and like
the Joker was
American
called the Riddler and the Riddler was the Joker. Everything's wrong.
Yeah, no, it was Clown versus American Captain.
American Captain.
It was incredible. Like that's what I was thinking about when you said bootlegs.
And that's also very funny. There's also some really funny fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards out there.
Yeah.
But
well,
yeah, I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, where can people look at Penalty Box? Where can they look at them on the internet?
Anywhere really. We are available.
Whitehouse.gov.
I mean, like, we've got one of those link tree things. It's link.
I'm gonna pull up the actual URL so that Jake doesn't just say some shit.
/penaltybox NC is basically it.
Yep.
Anywhere.
I found it. linkter.e/penaltyboxnc.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That one.
But you can also find that on our Facebook page and our Instagram. We have a Twitter. I assume it's also there. We don't really use it though.
Yeah, I always forget that I'm just on my personal Twitter instead of the band Twitter. Like I have forced Proper to become friends with us just by like harassing them constantly. They're so sick, by the way. We got to see them open for the Wonder Years on this last tour in December.
I think I've seen them on Twitter
before.
Who?
Proper.
I don't know that.
They're awesome. They're
really cool.
I definitely, they have a new album coming out soon. But yeah, I harassed them a bunch. And
you also harass Hot Mulligan.
Yeah, no, I had Twitter beef with Hot Mulligan for a second.
Oh, for real?
Well, so like we went and saw them with Newfound Glory when they were here, and the click was playing on the main,
on the house speaker.
Like I thought, and it was like really low in the
Jake thought he was going insane for a second, and he was like, do you hear that? And I didn't hear it at first, but when he pointed it out, you can't unhear it. There's just a metronome during every song.
And so after the show, because I mean, like, I should have we were near the sound booth, so I probably should have like gone over and said something. That would have probably been the right thing to do, but I just didn't because I didn't know any of the people working. So it's like,
well, there's the right thing to do and there's the funny thing to do.
Yeah. So instead, I tweeted at them about it, And I was like, yo, was that on purpose? And they were like, no, definitely not on purpose. Like, it
And then
would've
you
been
tweeted at them again, and they were like, "If you mention the click one more time, I will end you."
I was like, this isn't the attention I wanted from one of my favorite bands, but at least it is attention.
Yeah, all publicity is good publicity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Twitter club rules all.
Yeah, man.
That's all you need. Doesn't matter how good or bad your music is, as long as
Yeah.
you've got.
Is that the band we played with?
We played with them a long time ago.
What?
But
That's sick.
yeah, it was like right around when Pilot came out, and they did a tour of a bunch of small places.
I didn't know they were a big band now.
Dude,
Yeah, they kind of
they're
blew
like
up.
the next big thing. That's on their Twitter now.
The number one hot new band.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Number one hot
Yeah.
new band. They're so good. I love them so much. I wish we were
I like them a lot.
actually friends instead of
They
Twitter.
they
You know.
they actually tweeted about when they played here, because a lot of the frequent showgoers in Myrtle Beach are like, they're like,
Were they getting a fight
they
there
get
or
in fights.
something?
Yeah, they were like hardcore kids, and they were like hardcore like crowd killing each other during Hot Mulligan. And then they tweeted after the show like, guys, please don't crowd kill during our shows. and it's like,
that
well,
reminds me of the time that I went with a couple friends up to Baltimore for the Sad Summer Festival, and people were like fucking moshing during Mayday Parade. It's like they're singing Jersey, and dudes are like covered in sweat, like punching each other. It was great.
That's always been the like weird thing, is like when these pop punk bands tour with hardcore bands, and like I don't know what vibe I'm supposed to feel like when
Well,
like
that
I saw Terror with 4 Years Strong.
What?
I feel like that would kind of work because, like,
It's hardcore
I mean,
music.
Terror is like the scariest parts of 4 Years Strong amplified squared.
There's like one of the like probably the worst mosh pit I've ever been in was Knocked Loose opening for A Day to Remember.
oh, you know what? I don't know if I've told that. Have I talked about that on here?
I don't think you have.
When I worked at one venue, that tour came through here, and it was like a bunch of younger people came to see Knocked Loose, and they were like, beating the shit out of each other and whatnot. And A Day to Remember played, and like a lot of people had left. And who's the singer's name?
Jeremy?
Jeremy McKinnon.
Yeah, he came up to me like before they went for their encore, and he was like, "What's up with the crowd here, bro?" And I was like, I don't like the other band. I think you got fans out there, but they're all a little older." So, and then that one band kind of like I think tuckered everyone out. But I don't. No offense, but
well, in Raleigh, everyone was there for A Day to Remember, because like I remember being there like for the whole set, and I was like vibing with Knock Loose, but like most of the people, like there was obviously a mosh pit, but like most of the people there were just kind of standing there like calmly watching. Like how do you not hear arf arf and fucking lose your shit? But A Day to Remember came on, and like they opened with Second Sucks, and then they played right back at it again, and like it was one of those pits where just like the place is jam packed and everyone's moving, and you have no control over where you're going, and you're just like, if the person next to you like moves in any way, you're gonna fall on the ground and get trampled to death. So like that was definitely the most aggressive like crowd that I've ever been in, was for A Day to Remember.
I think it's maybe Myrtle Beach is just a very like there's just something off here. There's like a weird imbalance. So how people like act at shows, it's just sort of
it's like we're like
different from everywhere else in the country.
It's like we're like a certain number of years behind everybody.
Yeah.
I don't
South
know.
Florida was like that too. I lived there for a number of years. I played in a pop punk band down there. We were like the only pop punk band in South Florida. Everyone else was in like a rockabilly, like gypsy punk band or something. Like, it was the weirdest music or a hardcore band. It was
or hardcore metalcore. Yeah.
yeah, like no, it was like my friend. I think the only other sort of pop punk band in the area was like Nebraska Bricks, and that's like 4 years strong, but not as good. Sorry, guys. My friend played bass for them, and then like he left the band, but had a bunch of their merch and was like flipping it on the like emo merch Facebook group, and not mentioning that he was in the
Amazing.
band.
Oh,
It was
nice.
so incredible.
Kind of smart.
That's a move.
It was so funny. I mean, like he sold it, like whatever, it happens. But then there are also bands like Violence, Florida hardcore.
Yeah, I feel like most local bands can be described as like X, but not as good. Like,
Yeah.
we're like My Chemical Romance, but not as good.
Yes, that is
What are we like? We're like
I don't know.
I don't know.
Lunchbox is like Weezer, but not as good.
I think they've surpassed Weezer.
Well,
especially more
it depends
recently.
which Weezer you're talking about.
Or at least like
Either
the
absolutely.
past, aside from like White Album, maybe like the past like 15 years.
Yeah, White Album was a masterpiece. I'll fight anyone.
I love the White Album.
Yeah, White Album was great. Everything Will Be All Right in the End was great.
Yep.
And
forgot about
then
that album.
Blue, Pinkerton, and Green were great, and everything else ranges from okay to absolute horse shit. Like Ratitude is one of the worst fucking albums I've ever heard.
Wait, I like Make Believe.
I
forgot about
I like
Make
Make
Believe.
Believe a lot.
I liked a couple songs on it. I'm not a huge fan of Make Believe personally. I don't hate it, but it's towards the bottom of my list.
Yeah,
I
I guess
have to-
every album has to.
You have to rearrange the
part.
song order, I think.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
shouldn't
I can see
start
that.
with, it shouldn't start with Beverly Hills.
No.
I mean, that song is terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it should be on the album anyways.
Well, so
I
it's
like
it's just like that Ben Folds album with "Rockin' the Suburbs." That's the worst song on the album. It has no right.
That song also sounds nothing like any other Ben Folds song.
Yeah, no,
Not at
he
all.
was like, the label made me write this shitty pop rock song that is awful and sounds like Ben Folds 5, and then he wrote a good album. So
And it
like,
was also an Over the Hedge.
Was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh. You're the Ben's Fold 5.
I like Ben Folds 5.
I'm not
Their
really-
bass
Five
player is
slaps.
fucking awesome.
Oh, fucking good.
when we saw one of the times Frank Turner was in town, he used to do regional covers as part of his encore set. Like just wherever he was, he would do a cover local to the area. So when we saw him in Charlotte, he covered Brick.
Oh, nice.
Because they're local-ish. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, they're local to us right here, but local.
Yeah, the bass. I know the bass player. Like, I think he like gives lessons somewhere in like Chapel Hill.
Probably. I
Yeah.
doubt like he's living off royalties from one album in the late '90s, right? Like,
I think he was with them for a while. I don't know.
no, I was.
Who was that guy in the big band? Like, wasn't he in Bon Jovi who lived here?
There's a guy that lives here that's in Stryper.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
I thought there was someone else too that.
It's weird because there's a lot of like musicians that like well-known musicians that like have lived in this area, but I can't really think of any.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, like you've got in the Charlotte area, like that
Adam Lazara and John Nolan live outside Charlotte.
the Ava brothers.
I met Adam Lazara at somewhere. I forgot what bar it was in Raleigh,
It-
but he was just there.
Yeah, he used to go. My buddy worked at a karaoke bar in Noda, called shit. I don't remember. But like Adam would hang out there. It was like his home bar. And one of the times he was there, like someone chose to do "Make Damn Sure." and
Oh.
didn't notice that he was there, and also butchered the song like really badly. And
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
like Adam, like it was so bad that it embarrassed him, or at least that's how my friend told me the story. He just gave
He's
him
like, is
a
this
free
song really
drink
that
and was
shit?
like, "Don't worry, dude. I'll make sure it's not on the list anymore."
He'll make damn sure it's on a listen.
Yeah, like,
I think Keith Morris lived in Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah, he's like the Queen
Queen
City.
City.
Yeah, I walk around the Queen. I can't do Keith Morris anymore.
we've got. I'm pretty sure PD Pablo lives here in Raleigh.
Yeah, that's what he filmed the entire video for that song, like on
At the goat.
it was at in North Raleigh, just off Capitol. I forget the names of the roads now, but there's an intersection I used to drive through every day to get to work, and he filmed the video, take your shirt off, wave around your head. Like, he filmed that video at that intersection.
Huh.
Let's tell you.
I don't know that song. I apologize.
It's
It
was
you should.
a rap song
It's
from the.
it's
You're right.
the North Carolina national anthem.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in Southern Carolina, so we got Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah,
Well, that's all I need.
To be
We
fair,
gotta
we
ro-
also lay claim to Hootie and the Blowfish.
That's
They did
fair.
a lot of their coming up
That's-
here.
But Charleston has a Darius Rucker Boulevard. So
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's incredible. You ever think how rough it is, like, to be Cheap Trick, like reduced to opening for Hootie and the Blowfish? Like, you're in a band. Like,
Yeah, like you release one of the greatest live albums of all time, and then you get stuck behind Darius Rucker for the rest of your life.
like that's gotta hurt. Like, it makes me understand Billy Joe's fucking meltdown when they like kicked him off stage for Usher. Like,
Justin
yeah.
Bieber.
was it Bieber? I thought it was Usher. for
No,
some
it was
reason.
Usher. You're right. He specifically ranted that he's not Justin fucking Bieber.
Yeah.
I remember when that
Well, like-
happened.
Yeah,
it was like
Usher.
it was like Billy Joe Armstrong goes on rant and smashes instrument at iHeart Radio Fest.
I feel
and
like-
the next article was Billy Joe Armstrong
Checks
checks
into-
into rehab.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like that was like a lack of self-awareness on his part, because I mean, it's like
It's
a
a big
huge
festival.
corporate festival.
Yeah.
Like, what do you like? Come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I love how he started smashing his guitar, and like Mike Dirnt has just been standing there this whole time, and he
Yeah.
just
And
like
he's
looks
like-
over and he's like, "Oh, are we
Yeah.
smashing our instruments now? Okay."
yeah, they all had it. I'm glad they did that, because he would have looked very dumb if like
Yeah.
the two other guys did not participate.
Yeah, yeah. Mike Dirnt's a bro. Like, he's down
Yeah.
from day one. Ride together, die together. Like, he's not gonna let his homie go hanging like that.
Dude, and he's just like one of the best bass players in like rock music, like,
Yeah, he's so good.
solid.
That's why I started playing bass. He was why I started playing bass.
Dude, yeah. No, he's one. Well, he's not the reason I started playing bass, but he's definitely one of the first songs I learned was like Longview,
Yeah.
like such a cool bass line. But no, the reason I play bass, I was an upright player until Newfound Glory released My Friends Over You, and I saw that music video and switched to electric. Like, it,
I had a band that used to cover that song. People would go
Is-
kind of nuts.
it like
That's a really fun bass line.
it was that music video is so good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm old. I get
It's
it.
very TRL.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I was watching TRL. It was,
Yeah.
MTV world premiere music video. Like, it was 20 years ago. I fucking get it. I'm old. But like, I just like distinctly remember this like watershed moment of watching this music video and being like, oh, I want to play bass, like electric bass.
I used to put requests in TRL and see what I can get on there, but it was all like old boomer shit. Just to see if they would let me in. It never worked.
Play Aerosmith.
Yeah. Free bird.
Damn. I just feel attacked about how it's the 20th anniversary of that album. Like, this
Yeah.
year. My back hurts.
Look, I
Well.
just wanted to say one thing while we're on here, in case in case Neil Young is out there listening, Neil,
He
big
is,
fan.
yeah.
I just want you to know that we will never host a Joe Rogan podcast. So if you just want to like come like join us, then that'd be chill.
But like we
Yeah.
aren't important enough to pull our music from Spotify. We need people to hear.
Yeah.
It. I'm sorry.
We'll do like Rivers Cuomo did and make our own streaming service, and it's just us and Neil Young, and that's
I
it.
saw that.
I mean, I'm down for that.
Weezify.
Like, I think
I was
we could
looking
ride on those coattails.
I was looking into that. It costs like $110 to get the full catalog. Like what
Yeah,
it is now.
to get everything, it's kind of expensive, but like
Yeah.
also, like I'm a diehard Weezer fan, so like I am the target demographic of this foolishness.
He's made literally hundreds of dollars off of this service.
Yeah. He's made at least $30 from me. That may be the most that he's made.
I feel like a lot of people like have a lot of that shit, right? Or was that all like unreleased?
It was a lot
A lot of
B-sides
it's been
and stuff.
floating around. Some of it was officially released, and some of it was just like on bootlegs and stuff. Some of it's like fucking like phone demos and shit. But it's really helpful to just have everything in one place and not have to go digging through sketchy websites to, download files that aren't executables. You just go on LimeWire and download linkingpark-num.exe and then get like a fucking Trojan on your parents' computer.
I remember those
never
days.
Do that.
Is Pnltybx going to make their own songs from the Black Hole? Because I feel like there's like at least 100 like recreations of that album. Like
probably
like,
not, but we are going to make our own Trojan virus, and it's going to be on every flash drive.
Oh, that's why my computer's not working so good.
Yeah, it's the virus. I mean, when I was at computer camp in middle school, I made a game that after you broke through a certain point threshold, it just crashed your computer.
Yeah, I made
it's like you're like doing so great, and then it just like crashes.
Well, and the game wasn't hard or fun. I wasn't particularly good at. It was computer camp. I like didn't know Visual Basic when I got there. You think I made a game in 2 weeks? Like
that kind of describes what it's like being in a pop punk band. It's not hard or fun.
But yet we still do it to ourselves.
Yeah, no, I can't. There's nothing else I'd rather do.
Right.
Yeah. If I could quit my job and play pop punk full time, I would in a second.
Yeah. We should. We need to funnel any revenue that Pnltybx earns into lottery tickets, so that we can win and pay for
That's brilliant.
Retirement. Yeah.
That is brilliant. Let's just stop paying for music videos and stuff and buy lottery tickets until we win.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine if we bought like 10 grand worth of lottery tickets instead of like recording an album and making music videos and putting together a live rig and buying instruments? Like, just think. Like we could be rich instead of playing in this shitty band.
That is true.
That's what we've been talking about. Just like doing we were just gonna be a podcast and a t-shirt company.
Sick.
That's it. No music.
Brilliant.
No music.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we'll just become comic book writers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll just do like webtoons. Like I'll just hand draw some stick figures and make them say stupid shit.
The Rage
Eskimo
comics.
Bob.
Yeah. I mean,
Eskimo Bob kids. It's incredible.
Eskimo Bob.
well, we'll just what we'll do, we'll take every line from the entire Charlie the Unicorn series and put it in a spreadsheet, and then we'll pick them at random and make a script out of it, and we'll see how long it takes people to notice.
You got like it's been like 15 years. I think you might be safe.
You think there's at least one guy still into it?
There's one guy that's
Like,
like this
rewatch it.
is where comedy peaked.
He has like a day every month where he's like, all right, time to sit down,
Watch
crack open a Monster Energy and fucking watch some Charlie the Unicorn.
Yeah,
Over again.
that guy is me.
Oh, okay.
I am the guy.
How do you do?
I fucking love Charlie the Unicorn. It's so dumb.
Dude, that's like back when Donald Glover was on College Humor filming Bro Rape.
Yeah.
One
That's
of the
back-
funniest videos that is not aged well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few, especially on College Humor. There's a few of those.
Yeah. But like a lot of like people who are now successful actors came from there somehow.
Yeah,
And by a lot, I mean I know of two for sure.
one freak and one geek.
Yeah. Kim Schmidt and Donald Glover. I don't remember what that actor's name is.
Donald Glover.
No,
I
Donald
think he's
Glover,
played
also
by
known
Childish
as Donald
Gambino.
Glover.
dude, you know they look really similar. It's weird,
I've never seen him in the same room at the same time.
This is the same thing.
Yeah.
I've never him.
right? It's weird.
Mm.
Might be the same person.
Well, again, all the penalty box stuff. I'm going to link everything so you can find it easily. But what was it again? One more time for the sake of saying it again, where you can find all your-
Onlyfans.com/.
Gordie, do you have a personal OnlyFans? Just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's me doing drum loop covers.
Is
No.
naked?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Gordie's is the premium membership. Ours is just $5 a month for it's me and Jake. But to get access to Gordie content, it's gonna be about $100 a month.
Sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But first, you have to unlock Will and Jake's first.
Yeah.
Then you get
Yeah.
the link to
It's
mine.
like it's like a
Ah.
Patreon kind of thing, you know.
It's like
Yeah.
a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's like it's you have to buy the penalty box battle pass to unlock the.
But,
That's epic.
But yeah, penalty
But,
box is spelled with no vowels except Y. But Y is not a
Yeah, it's only sometimes.
Only
a vowel.
Sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're counting
In this
as a
case,
consonant.
it's not a vowel because vowels are like cops. They all suck.
yeah, fuck vowels.
Especially O.
That's the mosh call now. Fuck
Fuck
vowels.
vowels.
I'm in.
But yeah, you can find us at whatever the link linktree.e/penaltybox or whatever the fuck, but it's probably just easier to look up penalty box NC on Facebook and or Instagram or TikTok. We're on TikTok.
Yeah, it's very boomery of me.
Yeah, don't watch half of them because Jake doesn't know how TikTok works and just post random bullshit that's not funny or entertaining.
I'll be sure to
Like-
check it out.
Like videos of Will ranting about Evangelion.
Yeah, there's roughly half of a video of us breaking a flesh and blood booster box because it cut off halfway through and just lost the rest of it. It's
we're-
I don't. There's also I still don't know what the point of this one was. You were like recording a Superman cartoon, but it was like pitched up with like a chipmunk filter, but it's really quiet and just nothing is happening, and it's just a Superman animated series, and I don't know what you were trying to accomplish.
It was probably like the dialogue was really funny. Like
Yeah, except you can't hear any of the dialogue.
subtitles, bro.
But that's what we're gonna do. We're
Excuse me.
what?
What the hell?
What was that?
Was
I
that the
have no
Zoom
idea.
bitch?
I was good TikTok. I realized my volume was up.
Oh,
What?
he's just like
Okay.
word watching.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
okay.
trying to go to the band TikTok to find that. Volume was
Uh,
way up on the phone.
Yeah, we're gonna that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna blow up on TikTok and then we're gonna tour with Lil Nas X. That's the dream.
Okay.
Be tight.
That'd be
reasonable.
tight.
But yeah,
Any you guys have any shows coming up?
None confirmed yet. We've got a couple that are in the works, but nothing set in stone.
Right on.
We will once we get the Windley penalty lunch. You can't really combine penalty box and lunchbox because it's just penalty box.
Penalty box hero.
Yeah, that works.
Penalty hero box.
Isn't that a Foreigner song? But yeah, once we do our joint tour, then we'll have plenty of dates set in stone.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah. I'm really excited to have those happen. So
Yeah, it's gonna be
so I
fun.
can see you guys in real life.
And we want to open for the Darkness when they play at Neighborhood Theater, but John can't help out with that, and it's really pissing me off.
Hey, John at Neighborhood Theater, get penalty box to open for the Darkness.
Yeah,
Now
I will drive 4 hours for that.
that does sound
I
fun.
drive
sounds
to
pretty
go
fun.
see the Darkness. Like that sounds tight, regardless.
Shit.
But yeah,
I believe in a thing called love.
dude, same.
Just listen to the rhythm of the heart.
My Apple Watch
Or
does that
as he
all the
says it.
time. Yeah, dude's got 30 octaves. Also, our music video is equally cheesy. I'm just saying. We
Yeah.
should be friends.
I'll make sure everyone watches that. And if listen to Hedgehog, the album, but also buy it.
Yeah, you can buy it on our big
Yeah, we have a
people
merch
money.
store.
I'll
Sick.
make sure to. There'll be all the available things. There, every crevice of the internet. I'll make sure to share it and where I share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We have really sick custom flash drives with the album art on it, and they come with
Sharpie.
the Hedgehog album, the Hat Trick EP, and the liner notes for the record with some juicy lore. So
mhm.
a lot of fun stuff to unpack.
I'm a
And
big
it's
lore
only
guy.
$10.
It really is. There's a lot on. I put it in. I was like, holy shit, this is the coolest
If
thing
you really
ever.
want to, you can just delete all that stuff, and you got cool fun drives.
Have a too big flash drive.
I'll put Windley stuff on it and scratch out Hedgehog
Yeah, I mean,
with the new Sharpie that I have.
yeah, and it comes with a free
Yeah, one in every 10 shipments comes with a free Sharpie because I'm a dumbass.
Make sure to give these boys money because everyone wants an animated music video. At least one. At least one, right?
Yeah.
One.
like, yeah. How sick
If
of
anyone
it?
deserves it, it's
They
these
need the
guys.
money, so
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, buy your stuff. Listen
Yeah, you
to
could
them.
donate to charity, or you could fund our music video.
But donating charity does not give you a cool animated music video.
Yeah.
with giant werewolves.
Yeah, we want the giant werewolf.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I mean,
That's all I want.
I mean, like the animated concept, not like an actual physical like giant werewolf, because that would probably be pretty scary.
Depends
Sure.
on where.
But
Yeah.
the impetus to create giant robots would exist then.
Mhm.
I
I
You
mean,
mean,
have giant
it already
robots.
exists because people want to build Gundams in real life. They don't need a reason. They just
I mean-
want giant robots.
they don't.
But I feel like it would speed up the process of like having cool like giant robots.
yeah,
those
like
giant
'cause
werewolf.
they don't make
If they're-
sense
yeah.
as military tools. Like bombs are way more efficient. You know, like
Yeah, I mean,
They
it
look
makes
cool.
it makes a lot more sense for the United States to murder colored people with bombs instead of giant robots.
yeah, like that's why I'm out here yelling.
Yeah.
If they were giant werewolves, no choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
But thanks for coming on
Dude,
the
thanks for
WindleyMania,
having us.
hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's been a lot of talk about us, but like you guys are also really sick. You're really cool guys, and your music slaps. So everyone, check out the Windley Boys. I'm sure you already have if you're listening to this podcast. But if
I
somehow
don't
you
know.
stumbled upon
I
this,
don't. I actually don't know because like I don't know how many people actually listen to the music.
I think we're at a point where I think more people are listening to the podcast than our music. So
Well, until the new stuff comes
until
out,
our new
maybe.
stuff is
So,
done, whenever, then
Yeah.
we'll have that.
I mean, no, that's fair. I understand, but we listen to both, so you know.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great band. Check them out once again.
Great
Thank you,
people.
all three of you.
Beautiful people.
Hope to see you all really soon. And do you have anything else intelligent to say? I really didn't think so. But I
I
was just
haven't
asking.
said a single intelligent thing this whole time.
Yeah.
I don't think anything intelligent has ever been said on this podcast.
That's not true. The long stick theory.
The long stick theory. Sorry, yeah.
But there is a show we were playing that's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
February 24th. Got a Thursday. Windley, Dirty Earls, the other bands.
A lot of other bands.
Bay Street, Up From Here,
not
Spider Bucket.
Spider Bucket.
The
6
Island
bands at Island Bar.
That
Come
is
hang out.
Shitload of
Spider Buckets is tight.
But
yeah.
guess what? It's free.
It's free.
So I mean,
Dude.
just hang out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So much value.
I know.
Same.
Yeah, they had the touring bands had like 4 bands before they hit us up. So all right, screw it.
Yeah, what?
It's only $3.99.
Dude,
Exactly.
that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
So-
go to that. It's probably several hours away from me, huh?
You're like 3.5.
Something
Raleigh, right? 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
tough
right.
on a Thursday.
That's a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah, missing much.
But
But yeah, that's coming up, and that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much all we got.
Follow for more Windley crap. Follow at Windley_band on all the bullshit on the internet, and go to windleyhub.blogspot.com for Devin wrote about the Ghostbusters. He hates children, but he ain't afraid of no ghosts.
wait, are you saying the new Ghostbusters was bad? Because I want to see it.
I liked it, but
Okay.
But for more of his opinions, you have to go to Windley
For more of the
Hub.
opinions,
Yeah, you gotta
go to
read
the
it.
blog.
Yeah, this is a
Audio.
paywall. The paywall being free.
Oh yeah, it's free.
The free wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, the free
Bunch of free nonsense bullshit that you should really chill out about.
Yeah.
But
It's been a pleasure.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a great time.
So much pleasure. I'm all pleasured out.
climaxed.
I climaxed. It's been out of pleasure.
Twice.
All right,
Yeah.
brothers, I'm gonna
We're gonna end
stop
the
this
recording.
train right here. Oh, wait a minute.
Beep.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Wait. I don't want to end. How do I?
Just hit stop recording.
Where's that?
It's right there. Where it
yeah.
says stop recording. There we go.
Hey.
All right. Stop.